Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Nate Caywood. I'm a Los Angeles-based cinematographer, and this is Film Shit, a podcast where I sit down with a working professional in the film and TV industry. I ask them how they got to where they are, what it is that they do, and what they think the future of the industry looks like. Today, I am extremely excited to have this guest on. I'm so grateful that you are here. He is a writer, he is an actor, he is a soon-to-be director. We count directing?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Here
I
you
love
go.
to
Sure,
hear that.
of course.
A very dear friend and an incredibly talented guy, and truly, I don't say this lightly, an absolute inspiration to me, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Please welcome Michael Strassner.
Thank you very much for having me, Nate. It's an honor to be here. Are you kidding me? This is so cool. And that you even said like working professional is very fun to hear. Because I'm like, is that me? Yeah, I guess
It is you.
You know?
Oh my gosh, you're being so humble. Of course, it is
Yeah.
you. Like we haven't. I can't wait to talk about the Doritos commercial. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's just what I always love diving
I know
in
that's
on
the
hard.
first one. I was
Yeah.
like, let's start with the Doritos.
It was so rewarding to be at South by Southwest for a movie that I got to co-write and be
Yeah.
the lead of, and have this really emotional moment. And then this 22-year-old girl, right after the movie, walked outside the theater and said, "Loved you in the Dorito spot." And I was
You're
like,
like,
"Oh man,
thanks.
thanks."
Hey,
Did you see the movie that was up there? That was
that was okay. Sir, that was okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't bothered by that.
Yeah, but yeah, the alien abduction. It's all
It's all. Hey, this is what you are known for.
exactly.
Okay, Strassner, thank you so much for being here. I'm excited. So, just to be clear, you are an actor writer. This is the thing that you're probably most known for in the industry, right? And you have gotten the itch to do directing soon, and hopefully that's something that you'll be checking off the box as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've directed some smaller things, of course,
Yeah.
like shorts and like that type of just sketches and those things. But yeah, no, I definitely down the road in the next couple of years, I'd love to direct something, and I think it might happen soon. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
I
But
think so
acting
too.
acting has always been my favorite. It's
Great.
what I kind of got started on, and writing has been more of a like I have a ton of imposter syndrome around that, where I'm like,
I think we all do.
yeah, it's like, is this good? Is this good?
Yeah.
And all the things. And yeah, well, the first one's not going to be great. Like, then you do it again and again and again.
Course.
And
Of course.
that's just, I feel like I've just learned so much in the last couple of years from the guy.
Doing it.
But yeah, from doing it and from mentors that have become friends. And,
Yeah.
I mean, we've known each other for what?
Many years. I mean, at least over
10
a decade,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And the trajectory and the journey is always changing, right? It's
Correct.
always evolving. But that actually, so part of the way that I'm hoping to structure the podcast is like I am from a place, and you're originally from Baltimore, and this may be the case for you, right? Like I'm from a place in the United States and the world where I didn't know that people wrote TV shows, and I didn't know that directors existed. Like I didn't think past whatever I was seeing on TBS, right? Like I just didn't be like, well, who made that thing? Like, how did you come to be like, I'm going to be an actor?
Well, early on in my childhood, I would see movies that I probably shouldn't have saw at at 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I saw Mrs. Doubtfire at 3, and then I
Love
saw Ace Ventura at 4 or 5. And my mom would take me to the movie theaters. Like we would go after school and we would go to an old theater on York Road that was like a 4 multiplex theater that I miss like those ones so much.
Yeah.
And we would just me and my mom just loved going to the movies. And I remember I left Mrs. Doubtfire and I came home and I put on my sister's dress and a wig and her high heels and the wrong shoe. Like I had on the wrong shoes.
Yeah.
And my mom's like, "Michael, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm Euphegenia Doubtfire, my dear." and I did the same thing with Ace Ventura. I put my hair up and I'd be like, "Alrighty then." And I would just bug the hell out of my sisters and bug the hell out of my dad. And, even the Mrs. Doubtfire thing, I was wearing a dress for like 2 weeks. And then after my dad walked in on me peeing, sitting down, he was like, "This is over, bud. All right? You're going to go play with your G.I. Joes." And, but that was just 1993, so a little different than now. But, he just, but truly, like, I loved going to the movies. And I would go, like, even when I was 12 and 13, and I would just walk to the movie theater by myself and just go see something that was playing.
Yeah.
Like I really felt like I escaped in these theaters. and and uh, unlike your story a little bit, you know, I saw a John Waters movie, Serial Mom, when I was
Oh,
like
wow.
11 or 12,
Yeah.
and I would see my city, Towson, Baltimore, on screen, and I was like, "Well, okay, wait, so they shot that here? Like this can be done here, you
Right.
know?" And like that was always super like cool because John Waters would like come into my mom's like retail store that she worked at, and like he was a part of the community, and so
Yeah.
you know, like I think he was somebody that I was like, okay, like he lives in Baltimore and he's a director and writer. It can be done, but I think I still need to kind of leave the nest a little bit
Yeah.
um, to give it a shot.
That's incredible. I mean, that's such a gift, right? Like obviously I think that's a thing that we talk about now, right? Like being able to see representation and seeing yourself on screen is
yeah.
like why a lot of underrepresented communities are craving stories for younger people. Like what you're saying is like I can see my neighborhood, therefore I know a story can be told
Here.
about it. Yeah, here, about these people, about my neighbors, about my parents, about me. Like that's such an important thing. Man, that's so awesome to hear that was like part of your movie rearing was being able to see. And what an interesting filmmaker to like look towards as a guiding light, I
Oh
guess.
yeah, I mean, Crybaby also was one that I saw at an early age, where that was shot at my mom's high school. So
Yeah,
it's like,
wow.
you know, like Towson High, it was right there, and like, yeah, and I just remember like in the 90s when I grew up and watched those movies, Cecil B. Demented is another one that like was filmed at the Senator, which was like our movie theater there.
Yeah.
Which, you know, we got to premiere Baltimorons at, which is like the coolest thing in the world. But, you know, like I remember seeing my city and being so proud of it in those movies. And like, you know, in recent years, I feel like, you know, the Baltimore has not really been shown in the best light. And like, again, like Baltimore's like every other city. Like Chicago's got, you know, an incredible, beautiful city as well, but also has crime as well. But like Baltimore has always seemed to get this rep after some David Simon shows that like it
Right.
was the shitty town or whatever. And like I just was so proud of what Baltimorons did because it showed us in like this is a communal place. And like especially for independent filmmaking, everybody from Baltimore lent their cars, places, you know, time. They came in as extras and like helped make this thing come true.
Yeah.
So like the city's incredible, and I'm super proud that, you know, we were able to represent it in such a great way.
Yeah. Great. Let's take a really quick moment because I want to come back to like your genesis story, like your origin. But like, let's explain to people what Baltimorons is, and because it's going to come up throughout the rest of the podcast. So, tell us about Baltimorons.
Of course, yeah. Sorry,
okay.
Baltimorons is a independent movie that JAY DUPLASS directed. Him and I wrote it together, and it stars myself and Liz Larson, who is a powerhouse
She's
actress.
incredible.
Yeah, and Jay and I met on Instagram. We became friends. He helped me with a short film that I wrote and starred and directed. And then as a thank you, I took him out to lunch and I told him a little bit about my story and how I got sober. And he reached out to me 4 months after that and was like, I want to back in someone's life and do a movie. You're the first person that came to mind. Do you want to do it? And I was like, that sounds incredible.
Yeah.
I know how like that story is like the 0.00001%.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of being an attractive young woman at the Woolworths counter getting discovered on the producer came in. You're like, what?
Truly, it's like, this is insane. And
Yeah.
like, you know, it is been out here for 12 years and like something happened.
Yeah.
You know, and it was the coolest experience. Jay and I wrote together. And we just kind of like, we took some stuff from my life and formed it into one night on Christmas Eve that this guy meets his dentist and they become friends and they go all around Baltimore City. And, you know, it was this little movie that we shot on a shoestring budget of, you know, we're nominated for the John Cassavetes Award for the Independent Spirit Awards. It's any movie under $1 million. And we were closer to that lower half of the million.
Yes.
And it was just like truly like the coolest experience to get to go back to my hometown to shoot 16 days in December of 2023 and to get to shoot it with like all my friends and family. My mom's in it, my dad's in it, my niece is in it, my fiance Jess, who's incredible, she's in it. And you know, even just making the movie by itself, like that was the reward.
Yeah.
Everything that came after it, premiering at South by Southwest, winning the Audience Award, having IFC distribute it and do an incredible job. Everybody over there, Scott Schumann and Danielle, who was our PR person, like just made this movie. Like they told us we can be in 100 theaters. We got it up to 500, and it was this little movie that could in September that, like, you know, and that Baltimore showed up for. You know, they kept going to that movie all the way until January.
That's incredible.
In theaters. So like when people tell you, like, you know, well, movies are dying and movie theaters are dying and you know, everything's going to streaming and all this stuff, it's like, well, this was definitely not the norm, but this little movie made for very little.
Yeah.
Didn't go to streaming, went to theaters, had a good theatrical run, and didn't have any stars in it, you know?
Right.
And so, like, when people say things about their independent movies and, like, well, we need to have this and we need to have that, and we go out and make the thing.
Right.
You know? And I know how fortunate I am to have somebody like Jay in my corner that was like, no, like, to put Liz and I up there and, you know, showcase us was just such a gift.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, like, please go see the movie or check it out wherever it's possible to see it because it's an incredible film. And yeah, I mean, there's a whole genesis of a story of my life over the last year that has been completely shaped by this movie, which we'll get to later. But so we understand you performing Jim Carrey and Robin Williams in your childhood home, which I think a lot of us can relate to. Like, those were such huge touchstones, I feel like, for anybody that was just attention seeking as a performer.
And I remember getting laughs. Like, that's the thing is, like, I remember even, like, as you're saying this, I'm like, I remember I would do it at, like, my Aunt Sue's house, and she would be laughing at this. And, like, I'd never seen something I did make somebody laugh.
Right.
You know?
Even just hearing you say you're, like, putting on your mom's shoes on the wrong feet, I was already like, hilarious bit.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's such a strong bit, dude. Tiny little feet, wrong shoes. Come on, we're all laughing.
Exactly, you know? And, like, and then, like, I think that and, like, making people laugh was, like, my first real drug that I just absolutely loved.
I can relate to this very strongly.
And you know, and then, you know, I was always, like, the class clown in high school and, like, constantly getting sent to the office because of stuff. And
what was your favorite bit in high school? Did you have one?
I would call teachers doctors, even though they don't have their doctorate.
Yeah.
So, like, there was this guy, Mr. Holer.
Yeah, Dr. Holer?
Yeah, I was be like, doctor? Yeah. And he was like, it's still just Mr. I didn't go the extra time. And he's like somebody that I just truly, like, he was one of those, I had really amazing teachers and I, like, put them through hell looking back on it. But, like, I went to this Jesuit high school and, you know, like, I think they really, I think they started laughing at my stuff too when I was, like, junior and senior. Like, I remember one thing, we had to pick a song for history that changed the world. And, like, you know, my one friend picked Sublime, April 1992, whatever that one was.
The riots.
Yeah, about the riot, somebody else picked Bob Dylan, like, Blowing in the Wind. And I picked David Hasselhoff, Looking for Some Freedom. Yeah. And I was the only one that they couldn't get through the whole song because it's that bad. He was like, we're turning this off. But I got, like, an A+ on it because of, like, creativity and like, you know, and I talked about the Berlin Wall and how much people in Berlin love David Hasselhoff. It's just like, that's the type of, like, where my brain would go, where it's like, even for an assignment, I'm going to try to make it a joke.
Yeah, of course. I understand that. I one time in my first public speaking class in my freshman year of college, we were debating against somebody else, and I convinced the class that Luigi is better than Mario. That was my bit.
Actually
that
agree
I was
on
like,
that.
Luigi is better. You're like, Bob. Who's ever heard of Bob Hoskins, who performed as Mario? Bob who Hoskins?
Yeah, exactly.
Like John Leguizamo, baby.
Everyone knows him from The Pest.
Exactly.
You know?
Right? He's incredible.
Yeah, but you know, but I also never I never took, like, any improv or sketch stuff till I got out to LA. Like,
so did you? What was your post high school look like?
went to University of Maryland.
And why?
Well, I went to East Carolina for a year because I couldn't get into Maryland. I went to University of Maryland because it was in my mom and dad's divorce agreement that my dad would only pay 3/4 of Maryland, and my mom would have to pay the other fourth. So we all
And it had to be Maryland.
had to be University of Maryland.
Okay, well,
So-
now you've opened up an interesting door, and you don't have to talk about this, but so let me know, like, how did you, when did your parents get divorced?
I was 8 when they separated. They were gonna do it on a Saturday night at a restaurant. And then see, I'm like, I'm right in.
Yeah. You're like, yes, and
yes,
I'm here.
They
Set
were
the
gonna do it
stage.
at this restaurant on York Road. They had us all there, and then 2 of their friends entered during it. So they were like, God damn it, we can't do it.
Yeah, it
tonight,"
got
'cause
awkward.
it got awkward.
That's a hilarious scene in a movie somewhere.
Truly. And so the next day was a Sunday, and I was playing Super Mario Brothers.
Okay.
Um,
Not as Luigi, probably.
yeah, not
but
as well
whatever.
because you weren't allowed.
I
Like,
know,
it
it's
made
such
you for Nintendo.
it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
And they were like, okay, come upstairs. And then, they told us that like dad's moving out. And that was, I was 8. My sisters were a little older. I think they were like 11 and 14.
So 2 older sisters.
2 older sisters. Yeah.
You're the youngest?
I'm the youngest, but then my dad remarried and it was like a merger family.
Sure.
So,
So half siblings or
step,
step siblings?
but
Copy.
But we've all known each other for a long time. So we're
Yeah, it's
fully,
brothers. Yeah.
brothers and sisters.
Yeah, got it. That's and was it like like divorce is a really difficult thing for kids, especially that's quite a young age.
Oh, yeah.
Like was it a thing that shaped you? Like, do you feel that comedy was still a way for you to find space and position in life through that period?
I mean, I definitely always loved making my mom laugh.
Yeah.
Because she never remarried, and I think I'm a mama's boy, and I still am. And it was just always very important to me to even all the stuff that's going on. Like, I want to make sure that she's happy.
Yeah.
And constantly trying to play that role, whatever that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I had a big, and my dad would say it. He was like, "You have a ginormous chip on your shoulder."
Yeah.
And I just kind of kept that chip for a long time, just with
about the separation.
about the separation and about the way things went down and all that type of stuff. And I just really I held on to resentment for a long time.
Yeah.
And it fueled my comedy. I think okay, I'm gonna stop at nothing to do this for a living, and then also it fueled I think I am sober, but I think it didn't make me an alcoholic drug addict, but I think it was the Kindle, whatever.
Yeah, kindling
that started the fire.
Yeah, stoked it.
Stoked it
yeah.
up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Copy.
Yeah.
I understand that greatly.
Yeah.
Okay, so you started doing bits in high school. There's this large emotional thing that's happening within your family when you're pretty young. Like, you're getting new stasis and figuring that sort of stuff out. And so you go to the University of Maryland because your dad was like,
yeah,
you
exactly.
got to.
Yeah, this is where you're gonna go.
Yeah.
But I also have a funny story. My mom got fired one day when I was in high school.
Yeah.
She was working at a loan place. It's not called a loan place. That's a bank.
Yeah. I thought when you said loan place, I was like, yeah, like a check and go or a temporary loan.
She was working a mortgage company.
No, an actual bank.
Yeah. And she got let go one day, and I remember she came home, and I was playing a video game again.
Yeah, big video game head,
Video
yeah.
game. But she came home, and she was like, "Do you want to go to the movies? I got fired today." I was like, "Yeah, of course, Mom. We can do whatever you want." And I would always in high school, I would take her to a further away movie theater because I was afraid my friends would see her. Now I want to be seeing my mom wherever, anywhere. But I was like, yeah, okay, I think I found the right one. And I took her to go see Blade Trinity, which is just insane that she got fired, and then I took her to a vampire.
Yeah. You want to see the third installment of Wesley Snipes just destroying vampires?
Yeah, and my mom's like, "What did you bring?" And she was like, "I liked Ryan Reynolds. He was funny."
Yeah,
And
yeah, he was.
Yeah, I heard there's a lot of turmoil on set on that one. But it was just it's just such a funny that's what we did, you know. And she was just always game for anything, and she still is. So.
Oh man, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
That's Yeah, I get that. I was like, oh, I understand this.
Yeah, but then went to University of Maryland.
Great.
Studied. I went to East Carolina for a year, and then University of Maryland, and studied I think communications for maybe a semester, and I was like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Like, I really just want to do. I want to act, whatever that looks like.
Did they have a theater program?
They had a theater program. They didn't have any film or TV or
Yeah.
anything like that. So I went to their theater. I remember my guidance counselor was like, or college counselor was like, it's very like, if you're in the theater department, like you're very much like in this group. Like they don't really hang out with anybody else. And I was like, okay. I didn't really hang out with because I was in a fraternity too. So I like was still partying and stuff. So I was like the one person that kind of didn't go back and forth. But what's so funny is like I never got any roles in any of the plays. I was always understudied. And like,
yeah, you weren't politicking, dude.
I was not politicking at all. Constantly the understudy. And what's funny is like, I see some guys that like were the leads in everything. They stopped acting 6 months out of college. And
why do you have a theory about that?
My theory is, I was already kind of getting trained of like being like, well, like. You're not going to get...
You're taking your lumps.
Yeah, exactly. You're not getting the role or whatever. But I just think was so hard-headed where I'm like, well, I'm going to do this no matter what. Like, I'm not stopping. And I think when they were small fish and, big fish in a small pond, that's great. But when you go into the real world, it's...
when you go into the real world, you're competing against Brad Pitt for the lead of the movie, bro.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry, the guy who got the lead of Thoroughly Modern Millie at University of Maryland in
it was
08 or whatever.
I actually was in a show called Am I Black Enough Yet? As an understudy. I swear to God. I played all the white roles.
Yes.
And one scene...
Thank God.
one scene I had to play a black character. Which they didn't make me do anything. Like I didn't. Thank God. But it was a really interesting play, and that was interesting.
Yeah, sounds transformative.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, well that's great.
So that was what they were doing at University of Maryland, and
Wait, so did you? Okay, so did you graduate?
I graduated.
You have a degree.
I have a degree in theater from University of Maryland.
Okay, great. Mm-hmm. And then you were immediately like Los Angeles bound.
My big thing was like. I flirted with New York. I did have one class.
Did she flirt back?
She's not. I mean, it's always been a flirt. Like
I know.
I love New York. God, she's
very
beautiful.
appealing. Yeah.
But I was in a class called Business of the Business or Business of the Biz at Maryland. It was like the senior class you could take.
Sure.
And we had actors come in and producers and writers come in and talk to us about what the business is like. And we had Delaney Williams come in, who was on The Wire, and he came in and he was like, "Yeah, this is a hard career. Like, good luck."
Yeah.
But I actually still am in contact with him, and he's been so, like, he was possibly going to be in Baltimorons, and we became friends like that, and he's just been very supportive still to this day, which is something I'm so grateful that I'm still, like, I reached out to him, and I was like, "Hey, you probably don't remember me, but you came into Business of the Biz."
Yeah.
He was so awesome. And then there's another girl there was like who was in my class. She's like, I'm gonna go to Chicago and do Second City, and I'm like, what's Second City? What is that? Like I don't know. Okay, cool. Have fun in Chicago. Like LA is where movies is.
Yeah.
Movies are. And she also is probably better at grammar than me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no judgment. I was like, LA is where movies is. Yeah. I was like, okay.
Yeah. So then I came out here and I was like, okay. Who are my heroes?
So you're like early 20, like 21,
I'm
22, right?
22.
You're like, it's happening.
It's happening.
Where did you land in town? What part
Venice.
of town? You lived in Venice?
Venice, my
first year. That was your first neighborhood. Good
First year,
heavens.
yes, indeed. With Timmy Harrington and Max Osteller. Timmy is one of my oldest friends, and he's incredible. And Max was him and I shared a room our first year.
Yeah, sure. I know that.
Which was not fun. But landed in Venice, and I was like, okay, who are my heroes? Well, Mike Myers, Bill Murray, Chris Farley, John Belushi.
All people that went to Second City.
That I could have Googled.
You're like, wait,
I heard about this.
Venice, California, which is very far from the Second City.
Yeah, what is the Second City? And why didn't I? So I did not go there. Then I was like, who else do I like? And I was like, Will Ferrell, Will Forte, Kristen Wiig. So I did The Groundlings, where we met our wonderful mutual friend, Brett Moline.
Yeah, Brett.
Who was just, he was one of the first.
Sweet angel.
He's one of the first friends that I met there, and, had a great sense of community and really learned what comedy was.
Yeah.
There,
So your early 20s, you're starting at the Groundlings. So for those that don't know, the Groundlings is a prolifically successful comedy theater that does live improv and sketch shows on a nightly basis on Melrose in Los Angeles. It's the that storefront in school is the only version that they have of that, right? Like to be in the Groundlings, to become a Groundling member, you have to be in LA. There's no like, there's no like, oh, I did New York's Groundlings. It's like, no. It's known in the community for having an extremely high attrition rate, meaning that it is prestigious because of how difficult it is. That is like the notoriety that Groundlings has, which is like, if you make it here, you are the best the city and arguably the world has to offer.
Yeah. Yep. And and I just really liked my classes. I liked the crew that I was kind of doing improv with there, and moved up the ladder there to their Sunday company, which is like their AAA team that performs every Sunday. And it was really great. And, we had...
How old were you by the time that you got to Sunday company? Because like the thing is like I feel like you very not in like a glib way, but that's probably like 5 years that you're talking about.
No,
right?
I mean,
how long
like
did it take?
I think I was 26. I think when I started.
Okay.
Started Sunday company.
Right. Okay. So for like 4 years.
Yeah, 4 or 5. Yeah, I think it was 4 years because I had this teacher for writing lab named Kevin Kirkpatrick, who was great.
Yes.
He taught me, and then there was somebody who dropped out of Advance, which is like the one right before Sunday company, and they were 2 weeks in, and he called me and he was like, "Hey, I know you would have missed 2 weeks, but like, do you want to kind of jump in because we need another person?"
Right.
And so I got bumped up to do that.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, okay. Like, I feel like I want to do it. And so I did it. And then I got into Sunday, which is,
again, like it is important to say like how difficult it is to get to Sunday company from Advanced Writing Lab. Like the attrition rate is huge. It's like 80 or 90% of people do not go through Advanced Writing Lab to Sunday company. So this in and of itself is a huge accomplishment by 26 years old.
Yeah. But I remember also like, they were like, I think like I had teachers be like, well, don't go to UCB. Like you're going the trajectory here, like stay with us.
Wow, that's so interesting, really.
And I was like, oh, like, and so I never really got any other,
no other.
Because I was just like, okay, like I'm, like so many improv communities, you really drink the Kool-Aid,
of course,
of wherever you're at, and I was grateful for it. It was fun, and the second 6 months of Sunday that I did, there's only 7 of us, and I got to test for SNL, which was like a full-on dream. And
was that always the goal? Like, did you ever have that in the back of your mind that you were like, all I want is SNL? Or
100%. Like, I wanted to be the next Farley. Like, that was the goal. Truly was to, to get to that level and like do it every single Saturday. And like, just like my heroes, I'm going to be a partier and all the things.
Yeah.
And I got...
How'd it go?
It went pretty well. We had a showcase. Yeah, we had a showcase in at the Groundlings.
Yeah.
And then a few of us went to New York. And then you had to do your same set from the showcase, so I did that. I felt like I heard laughs. I felt like it was fun. I felt like it went well.
Yeah, which is like the common thing is that it's like, don't expect laughs.
Exactly.
Like that's the rule that everybody says.
And I wish, especially because I've watched a couple of like the SNL 50 things where like they talk about the audition and stuff. I got a call from Lindsay Shookus at the time to come back and do a final test. Like right after.
After you had already done the first one.
After I went to New York, they're flying us back.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, for another. And I was like,
so
okay.
So a second bite at the apple.
Second bite of the apple. And she was like, yeah, we just really want to see like Michael. And I don't regret anything, but like, I wish I knew who I was more at 26 or 27, whenever I was that I tested, to know what they meant by that.
Yeah, it is a difficult thing. Like, man, boy, I'm trying to think back about being 26 and I was such an idiot. I still am, just to be clear. But
even like to know who I like am.
Of course, how could you?
Like I was doing characters. Like that's what I thought I thought when they say Michael, it's like, well, I do characters. That's me. And in reality, I'm like, yeah, but like now looking back on that 8 years later, it's like, yeah, but you are more than just characters.
Right.
Like you are like when you're saying you, like what is Michael?
Yeah.
Just as
Which is a great question, but whatever. Let's hear about the characters, man.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you know?
like I want to hear about the characters.
Yeah.
But seriously, who did you do for your first SNL showcase? I'm so curious.
Well, there's just one thing that I always did at Groundlings that was like my favorite thing to do for forever, but it was this painter that would paint. He was in like a college quad, and he would paint really badly to System of a Down Chop Suey. So his like hair would go everywhere, and like I would just be painting like crazy, and then the college kid would like turn it off,
Right.
and then we get in a fight, and I would then like, then I would I would put the paint away, and I'd bring clay out, and I would do that to Papa Roach Last Resort.
Right. Oh, okay. So it's just
Yeah.
just like sort of heavy 90s. What was your third beat? What was the
Third beat was Patrick Swayze. She's like the wind.
Get
So
the
I
It is hilarious. So
yeah.
you undercut the
Yeah. Exactly.
it's
So
funny.
like, so the guy would leave, and then it was me and the college co-ed on campus. I was like,
Yeah.
let me paint you.
Yeah.
And then I would put on She's Like the
Is
Wind.
that what the let me do? Is
Yeah,
that what
exactly.
his sounding like? It's
Yeah,
like let me
exactly.
do this.
Let me
man.
paint you, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love this guy.
And
Did he have a name? I feel like Groundlings.
Demetrius.
Demetrius.
Yeah, he was definitely a Greek brother.
Oh, I love
But that was one that I just loved doing because it was just like super fun, and it was like all. I mean, I personally, I loved physical comedy.
Yeah.
I love.
Wait,
like,
you wanted to be the new Farley, and you like physical comedy?
Yeah.
Weird.
I
I'm
know
not
it's
seeing
really
it. I
strange.
know, it's
Really
so
strange. But you know what's so crazy is like, and I don't know if I shared about this but like when I first got sober, like I thought my life, which is part of the movie as well, is like because it's the origin of that is, is how I got sober. So a failed suicide attempt, and then I then went to the rooms of recovery to find hope. And at that time I also was like, I'm not gonna be funny. My life's over. All these things that I thought were true. But when I first got sober, I read the Chris Farley Show book, and the book opens up with him talking about, or him talking to a rehab facility.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm 18 months sober, and if you could do it, anyone can do it. And, or if I can do it, anyone can do it. And it like struck me of like, wait, I had no idea he was sober. And then as I continue reading, come to find out that, when he shot Tommy Boy, he was completely sober. His best work, in my opinion.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, like these are such, he's my hero, one of them, and like he loved being sober too.
Right.
And it's,
Yeah. Which is a part of the whole difficulty of the process and the journey of what it means to be that, because it's like not everybody gets each day, right?
No, 100%.
All right. Well, I think that that's actually a really great segue, because let's talk. There's a chunk of time that I feel like we should talk about, right? Which is like there's a period of time where you get sober, and there is a period of time where you had tested for SNL, and there is in between those times.
Yeah.
And what was that moment in that? How did that transpire?
Well, when I didn't get SNL,
Okay, so you did the second test.
did the second test.
Bring Michael, and then but as a 26-year-old, that kind of went over your head. You're like, I don't know how to bring Michael.
I don't know
characters.
I
You
brought in
still
some
did the test.
characters and did some did some stuff and thought I did pretty well on it. I was
Yeah.
pretty proud of it, but then didn't go my way, and it took me to like a just dark depression for the next 4 months after that.
And were you still performing at the
I
Groundlings?
was, yeah, I was still in the Sunday Company there, and what happened was it was a Wednesday after pitch. Didn't get anything in the show, and also like that Christmas, like I remember it was getting pretty bad at Christmas time because I remember I was drinking, and my mom came downstairs like 9 a.m. and it wasn't Christmas, it was another day, and she was like, and she saw me pouring whiskey into a glass, and she's like, Michael, what are you doing? It's like 9 a.m. And I was like, I'm on vacation. Like, what is it to you? And I was like being really mean.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't like who I was becoming. And like, also it's like, who are you that you get to, or that you think you can just drink at 9 a.m. like
Right.
in your family's home? Like what's,
Right.
yeah, what is this? And when I came back, I had like 2 more weeks after Christmas where I was doing shows. And then that Wednesday after the pitch, I didn't get anything in the show. So I was super
Right. So that's like an emotional blow.
emotional blow hit me for whatever reason. And then I drank that night. And then the next day I got up at like 11, I turned my phone off. I saw billboards, Ebeling, Missouri.
Yeah, Bill. I can't say
I know,
it either. Nobody
tough.
can say
Yeah.
it. Like Michael
Yeah.
McDonough wrote this movie, and
It's-
nobody can say the title.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But I was drunk when I saw it the first time.
Okay, great.
And I was super depressed. And if you were super depressed,
Yeah, that's not
a good movie to see.
Yeah.
And then, I went to work that night, which I was working at a restaurant at that time. Sweet Chick.
Okay, great.
And it's just chicken and waffles.
Yeah, sounds incredible.
Sounds incredible. Really easy menu. And I was screwing up everybody's order because I was drunk.
Right.
So I was sending the wrong chicken, the wrong waffles to the wrong tables. And it's
Right.
like, guy, there's 2 options here. Like,
Yeah, it's just like literally just check boxes.
Yeah,
like,
just
we
check
can do
boxes.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they sent me home.
Yeah.
And, my best thinking that night was I don't want to be here anymore. And
Right.
so the way the movie opens is the same way I got sober, is I try to take my own life by hanging myself. And, luckily the belt broke, because even when it did, I was like, I thought about my mom, I thought about my niece, and I'm like, what do you, like, where are we? Like what's happening here?
You're saying you're having these thoughts after the belt broke.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
what was the answer?
I need to get help. And I asked for help the next day.
And then
so-
you went to your first meeting.
Yeah, I went to, Then, they got me in contact with somebody who, like, we were mutual friends, and that person met me, and I was like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you helping me? And he's like, you're going to do it for somebody else someday.
Right.
And, I took a leave of absence from the school, and they're like, just focus on your sobriety, get well, get your mental health going.
That's great that they had the ability to do that.
Yeah.
And
then they let me go, though.
So that was an empty gesture.
Yeah, but I think everything happened for the right reasons. Truly.
Of course. I mean,
Yeah.
like, that's this is obviously an important part of the conversation, to be like, I am very grateful for you to be sharing this. Like, we've known each other for a very long time. Most of those years, probably I myself abstained from drinking alcohol because I know that I have an alcohol problem.
Yeah.
And recently I've started going to the rooms and working the program and have a sponsor. And so it's been really great to, like, sort of be on that journey and be able to have you as a resource and a friend and a fellow.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just really grateful for that. And I'm grateful for you to feel comfortable sharing that here and in many other places, as I know, obviously on the screen of Baltimorons, because I think it is, like, really important that people, that we talk about it, right? Like, that is, I mean, that's one of the guiding principles of going to meetings, is hearing people talk.
Well, and I think the big thing for me is, like, I think when you share about your story and whatever that is, I think the more you share about what happened for you, I think it's just really helpful to then, or at least for me, like, I don't feel like I have shame around it.
Right.
Like, yeah, that happened. Like, I was kicked out of a comedy school.
Right.
It's not the end of the world.
Right.
And
even though at the moment in time, right,
felt like the worst thing ever.
identity was so wrapped up.
I feel like I lost
intrinsically in
this
that.
community.
Right.
Oh my God. Like,
It
all
was
these-
you. It was
it was my
probably
whole
Michael Strassner, parenthetical, the groundlings.
Yeah.
Right.
And, it was truly, like, looking back on it, like, through recovery and through cleaning up my side of the street and making sure everything was all good, like, I'm not afraid to see anybody. I'm not afraid to, talk to anybody,
Right.
and I also, I don't want to carry the shame around of that, that happening.
Right.
I hit it. I face it right in front and be like, okay, like, and that's the thing about amends is, like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And it won't happen. And how can I make this right?
Right.
And that's what I did there.
Right. Which is, that's such a powerful thing. And, like, I think it is incredible that you were able to bring that to the screen as well, right? Like, I think it's apparent in the film that this is an important step of the process, which is adversity is grace.
And then you also, like you shared, it's like, the whole point of this whole life and journey and world is just to help somebody else out.
Right.
Like, that is the beauty, I feel like, of sobriety for me, is, like, when I share about how low my depression got me and my alcoholism got me there, and that I, got sober by a failed suicide attempt, it then you can the amount of people that have reached out to me that I don't even know,
Right.
like that grows exponentially, and it's just so beautiful to me that strangers are opening up like, hey, I went through that too.
Right.
You know, and like and I think my opinion, like it's so courageous to be vulnerable.
100%.
Which I didn't think that way 8 years. Like I was like, oh, I'm taking everything to the grave with me.
Right.
Like I'm not sharing this stuff, like my deepest, darkest stuff with somebody. Like that's crazy.
Right.
Now I feel like, oh, like I love sharing, you know, just my lowest points, because it's like, it's not the big bad boogeyman anymore.
Right.
You know, and that's not who I am today.
Right. Right.
Through other people showing me how to do it.
Right. And also like the idea of like, once you speak it out into the world, it's like this, it takes away that thing that makes it so scary and so shame filled and so debilitating. Right.
100%. And also like, you know, I feel like we're in a society that like, they don't want to give second chances to people.
Right.
You know, and like, and I think, again, I think everybody's situation is very different and everyone is very, but like, I think the world could use a lot more forgiveness right now with with just teachings of like, you know, stoicism and just being like, okay, like move on, let it go, you know, and keep living your life,
right.
You know, and also like, we're all human beings. And that's another whole aspect of the movie that we like really wanted to show is like, we're not perfect people.
Right.
We're not.
Yeah.
And, you know, people are messy and conflicted. And hopefully you learn something by watching people what they're doing, not like getting on your soapbox and saying like, this is how it should be.
Right. Right.
You
it's
know?
about listening and like opening yourself up.
Yeah.
Man, that's incredible. That like one of the reasons why I'm so grateful to have you here so early on in our process of discovering what this podcast is that it's like, I think I just really want this to be a forum to be able to have conversations like that, where it's just like, man, like we don't have it all figured out. Like, oh, we didn't show up to this town. We just like magically made it happen. Or that it's just like, I think that there's like this notion that it's just like talent is the thing that'll take you. And it's like, no, hard work and being humble and gracious and like just being a human being are the things that get you to the places that you want to be, I guess. And those things, those benchmarks change, I feel 100%. Like by the day, by the year, like.
Oh, I mean, like, you know, I've had not manifestation. I guess it's I have things I want to accomplish like every year. I'll put a new one up. And like in 2024 or 2023, number 2 was shoot a movie with JAY DUPLASS.
Right.
Like that was on my list.
Just out of nowhere.
It was after we had our lunch.
Right.
That I thanked him and told him my story. I was like, after that lunch, I put him at number 2 because number 1 is always stay sober, because without that, I don't have anything else.
Right.
That's been since day one. And like majority of those things on those lists are like, you know, see different parts of the world I've never been to. My refrigerator at home, that is actually Jess, my fiance's refrigerator, because she had a nicer one when she moved in. So it's her fridge. Smooth. Yeah, it's her fridge, but it's mine.
But once you guys do the nuptials, everything's 50-50, baby.
Everything's 50-50, exactly.
Yeah.
But since I got sober, like, I have traveled the world and I get magnets from everywhere I go.
I love that.
And it is like our fridge is covered in magnets.
Yeah.
And it's such a beautiful thing to me to look at that and be like, wow, Michael, like, look what you've done in sobriety.
Right.
Look, and it's not just what you've done. It is like, I do not do it alone.
Right.
It is many things, but like by listening to other people and seeing how they do their days and how they do their routines and how they go to meetings and how they start their days. And, you know, I just copy them.
Right.
And I see what they've done. And like, that's why like when you meet somebody in sobriety that you're really like, oh my God, like you're so awesome. Like I want what you have.
Yeah.
Like I want, like, how did you do it? And they're usually pretty open about doing that and telling you how they did it.
Right.
And, you know, like those, like I look at it every year, my manifestations, and like some things come true, some things don't, but like putting it on paper has made it really be something that like has become a reality for me.
Yeah. That's incredible. I mean, like, let's talk about that, right? Let's talk about like, how did So you said earlier in the podcast, it was like Jay hit you up and you guys had lunch and you told him the story and he can't stop thinking about this and he wants to like work with you to make a movie. And it's just sort of like, yeah, it seems like, wow, you just hit the independent film lottery.
Yes, truly.
But that's not really 100% accurate, right? Because like, what were you doing that made Jay contact you in the first place?
Well, so I contacted him.
Okay, great.
So,
Well, how did that go?
But he followed me on Instagram.
Okay.
And the reason why he followed me was his feed is all comedy videos.
Right.
He doesn't like he's made it so like he doesn't see any non-comedy. During the pandemic, he's like, I just want to laugh.
Right.
I don't want to see any outside world stuff. Like this thing is just for laughter. And I was putting up dumb videos that I was like, okay, like, you know, which is
like,
just,
what do you mean dumb videos? Describe them.
let's see, like I put up, like I would be like Brene Brown, like chastising her husband.
Right.
So I would like put on pearls and all this stuff and, you know, do an impression of her, or like I would do like, like Buffalo Bill talking to his Alexa. So
Yeah.
I'd be like in the pink robe and dancing to Goodbye Horses and be like, Alexa, where can I buy skin?
Yeah.
And then Alexa would come back and Alexa would be like, you can get skincare. And I'm like, no, human skin.
Yeah.
And like I saw Jay followed me on that. And one of the reasons why he said he actually like responded to me and because why he wanted to work on the movie with me was like, first of all, you came to me with a short film that you were going to write, direct, and star in. A lot of people just reach out to him sometimes like, let me just grab a coffee and pick your brain. He's like, I don't want to do that.
Right.
I don't want to pick your brain. Like, you know, like I want to make shit.
Right.
And like, that's been their thing for forever is like, we make shit,
Yeah.
you know? And so, and then he also saw just like, he was like, you know, I didn't know if you could act, but I knew that like, I knew that you were funny. And I knew that like the way we'd make this movie, we could still have some big themes in it, like alcoholism and menopause and mental health, but the way through is comedy.
Right.
And, you know, like he's somebody that truly took a chance on me that like he didn't have to. And it's been like the coolest thing in the world because I'm getting emotional because like, you know, like he really is like this guy that is so incredible, so awesome, and so like, he's I'm going to have you be the lead of a movie that I'm directing.
Yeah.
You know, like that's crazy. Like you know, and he just was like, he just took a shot on Liz and I, and it was like, and I'm always going to be indebted to him because, you know, he is independent filmmaking in my opinion. And he is like, he knows how to do it. Him and Mark and Mel and Shuli all over at Duplass, like they're the best. And they really want to elevate voices that haven't been seen yet.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think one thing, like for the audience to be able to see, though, is like I think it is important to acknowledge. Like I agree with you. Like I obviously have read their book. Like I've listened to all of the interviews. Like the Cavalry's Not Coming, Mark Duplass speech at I think it was South by or something. That I was like that had been on loop on my YouTube for like download it as an MP3 and listen into the headphones. They are like independent cinema, but like I think it's important to recognize that they came from the school of just like we're gonna make a goddamn thing and we're gonna make another goddamn thing and then we're gonna keep making things until we die.
Yes.
And
they made and Jay was saying, in my 20s, I didn't make a good thing. Like
Right.
I did not make good things.
Right.
You know, and like in my 20s, I didn't make a lot of good things.
Right.
I didn't make probably many good things.
Right.
You know. I maybe didn't make any good things. But like I feel like the only way I got better at everything was by doing it.
Yeah, you have to.
You know,
and
like,
because the failure is the come up.
Yes.
Right? Like that's the thing. But you position it in a way that Jay took a chance on you, and that's not incorrect. But I think it's also important to recognize that it's like you had a skill set that you had been honing and crafting throughout your 20s, whether or not you were fully in your body while doing it or not. And then you had this incredible life change that you put in a lot of work on yourself. And then the thing that you just said was like, when you first got sober, you're like, I'm not going to be funny. But you were able to not necessarily get past it, but you were able to find a way of finding your voice again once you had gone through that, right?
Yeah.
Because it's important to recognize, I think, for the audience, for me, for everybody out there, that it's like Jay took a chance on you because you were putting shit out. Like you were filming yourself, being Michael. That's the thing that SNL was asking for.
Yeah.
And Jay saw it. You just weren't at the place yet to be able to give it to SNL.
Yeah, 100%. And like that's such a beautiful way to say it. I never thought of it that way. So,
But it's true. I mean, the thing is, like, I think the thing that's important that like the reason why I want to make this podcast is so that people who are on the other end can see it. There's like, you get here when you film shit.
yes,
You go out and you shoot something, somebody will see it.
yes,
Is it great? Oops, no. Okay, next one. Is it better? Great. Like the whole point is that you have to make and express yourself and be the human being and like put that stuff out, and that's how you get better. That's exactly what you were saying.
Yeah, and you really don't know who's watching sometimes.
100%.
And you don't know who's becoming fans and who's, and it's just, like I think all three of us, Liz, myself, and Jay, were all like just waiting to do something.
Yeah.
Like all the energy was there because Jay hadn't also done a movie in 14 years.
Right.
So the fact that I wrote that on Manifestations was kind of crazy in the sense that like he's not doing movies much anymore,
Right.
But now, since then, he did Baltimorons, and then he did this amazing movie, See You When I See You, that just premiered at Sundance and got incredible like reviews, and it was a powerful movie to be in in the theater there, and like he's back, and he's like, and it's like it's the coolest thing to see him now, like fully being the director that like I mean that's all he's wanted to do is just direct movies.
Yeah.
And he's really good at it.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
And it took many years to do that.
Yeah, grinding.
Grinding.
And making, and most importantly, making and putting out films.
Correct.
Like that's the way that both of them got to where they're at, is that they were not, their fear to desire to create ratio was not in line with the way that would not allow them to put stuff out. You know what I mean? They were like, fuck it, we're making it.
And the fear thing is what sets so many people back, I feel
Yes.
like. And like that's something that like, warts and all, it's like, who gives a shit? Like,
Right, but aren't the warts the things that make it human? Like that's the thing that's
100.
like,
Well, no, that's I mean, the short film that I did with Jay, like I'm completely naked in it.
Right.
Like I took a huge. I'm like, oh shit!
oh man, I
here we
can't
go.
wait to see this.
I know.
Send me the clips.
Yeah,
all right?
of
We're
course.
gonna clip it out. We're gonna put it on here.
But like I was just like, I'm gonna go for it,
Yeah.
And he was like, you're fucking insane. Like you're crazy,
Yeah.
but it's funny that you're doing this,
Yeah.
But it's like I just am like, just do it. Like I know it's the most typical thing, but like go out and create the thing. Go out, the thing that you find the most shame about, go out and make the thing about that.
Right.
Like I know how hard it is to just say that and be like,
yeah, it's so easy to say
Yeah,
and
exactly.
hard to implement. Yeah.
but like it's the vulnerability that I've learned in the last 18 years that last 8 years that has made me be like, no, I'm going to show that.
right.
And like getting to sit in the theater at all these film festivals and watch that opening scene and see a failed suicide attempt end in laughter has been really beautiful. But also, I always sit in the movie theater for that scene to be reminded of how it could have went
Right.
if it didn't go,
Right.
And so it's just a reminder of like, one, stick around because
Yeah.
you don't know what's on the other side, and ask for help and get the help you need.
Yeah.
You
Man,
know?
that's so incredible. And we have Baltimorons because of it. And
Yeah.
it's amazing. And we have you, and we have
Yeah.
the privilege of seeing what films come in the future and like what you get to work on and what you get to create. And I'm excited for it, dude. I'm genuinely excited to see what comes next for
Thank
you.
you.
Like
I'm excited for you.
Thank you, dude.
You're starting this whole thing. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
And it's incredible.
Thank you. I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, and you're putting in the work, and you're being open-minded enough to be like, okay, like I want to, like, I mean, your story is incredible. If you're like,
Thanks.
like I don't want to speak for you, but like, be like, I was doing acting for a long time, and I wanted to shift
Yeah.
into something that's different, and I want to learn that trade and get better at it.
Yeah. I want to get great at it, to be honest. Like
100%.
and by what you're saying, like manifesting all that sort of stuff, part of the idea of this channel, part of me showing me doing analysis or me doing lighting and lens tests and putting it out in the world is like, I don't know if that's compelling content or not, but like, I know what it gives me is that it's showing the world that I'm willing to go and put in the reps and the time to be like, I want to be great at this thing. And
But your short film that you put on your channel, the one that's like just you.
oh yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
Thank you, dude.
That you've done. It's just like you just were like, I'm bored. I need to do this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I just felt compelled to like, oh, I got to make a thing. Let's do it.
And that's the thing. It's like go out and make the thing.
Yeah.
Go out and do it, and then do another, and do another, and do another. If you want to have a creative life, you know.
Yeah. 100%.
If you just want to do one thing, and like, you know, especially like now, if I was telling my 20-year-old self, like, I know you love acting, but like, try to challenge yourself. And that's one thing I will give Groundlings credit for 100%. They taught me how to write.
Right.
They taught me how to write for myself. And like, I had amazing teachers like Karen and Kevin that like really showed me how to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and like go and find that, like, and go and get those teachers and mentors in your life that believe in you.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and you can only get those people by showing up.
Yeah.
Like you
and
can
putting
only
yourself
get,
out there.
Yeah, you have to like show up. You got to go to the classes. You got to go to the networking event or the coffee or whatever the awkward thing is, and you got to pull yourself out of the corner where it feels really safe and like go out and talk to people and be like, here's my truth and here's what I'm trying to do, and like you can only be your best advocate for yourself, you know. And that's how this town works. Is somebody's got to advocate for you, and until somebody's willing to do that, you got to advocate for yourself.
100%.
Okay, well, I think we're getting too. I feel like we have gone.
Too
We've
hot.
seen
Is
a
that what
lot.
you're saying?
It's so warm in here.
The one thing I'll say about the studio, get some air, brother.
I know.
Jeez.
It's so hot. Well, luckily we have a a power screwdriver going on in the background.
Perfect.
Which is like, I love that during all of the like really earnest emotional moments that you were having, it was just like, well, this is when we need to drill into the drywall downstairs.
Exactly, and that's been my MO for life.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like I'm
yeah.
gonna get vulnerable, and then
and then it's just completely
and then here's the
undercut.
trash truck.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if anything, I do think that there's like a metaphor within the space, within the fact that it's like, yeah, dude, it's like, in my mind of the version of this podcast that I woke up to this morning, there was not a power drill going in the background while you were like saying these incredibly earnest and beautiful and honest things. Yeah. And I would love to redo that at some point, but like, it is what it is. Yeah. Like we're just playing on the field that we're on. So it's like,
yeah, I mean, there's just, I mean, early in sobriety, I listened also to Wayne Dyer, and there's something that's always stuck with me is just like, which is a thing that I feel like I want to continue to carry on. Is like being open to everything and attached to nothing. That is, and then see there it is.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, it's like, okay, like, you know, and I think keeping that open-mindedness throughout life is like truly like, you know, how it works.
Right. Like for open-mindedness, like maybe we're scheduling these podcasts at 8 p.m. at night when there's not going to be any work. Like that might just be what we do.
Or it might be a weekend thing.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Okay.
It's important to talk about scheduling on here.
I
just
agree.
for future guests.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that is
it's just like one of the things that my audience is clamoring for scheduling.
Is what time and where.
Yeah, and how are we doing it? Okay, so let's talk really briefly about the like. So we understood how you met Jay and how that sort of came to fruition, and like you guys wrote Baltimorons together, and you guys then went and shot the film in your hometown of Baltimore.
Correct.
And you then cut this movie together. Jay cut this movie together, and the world has seen it. And like, what was the writing process like when you were like writing with Jay? How did that actually work? Like,
I mean, it was the coolest. Like, he just literally like after one DM, he sent me his address. He was like, "Hey, yeah, come over here." And I was like, "I am a stranger from the internet, and you want me to just to like come over to your house?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah." So like he, you know, that was just the first time. But then like I would go over to his house, and you know, I would tell him stories about my life and about my childhood and different things that we kind of can incorporate storylines in that are not actually, you know, factually how it happened. And then we wrote like a 60 pager, and then we just kind of expanded on that each time. And like, and I would say the first one, the first draft, it was like 60 pages, and then it got all the way up to like, I think 95.
Right.
and we probably had like 16 or 17, maybe 20 like rewrites. So it was just constant. And that's what I feel like, just how lucky I am to get to have like a doctorate and how not only to write. I mean, he let me like sit in for like all the directing sessions, like his edits. He would or like for the film, he would send me all them. Like I was CC'd on it, and I just like I got to see like what a true director and like what it is,
Right.
and how meticulous he is, and
Right.
it was just and also like I was really, be honest, I was really freaking intimidating. Like
Yeah, of course.
Intimidated. I wasn't intimidating.
No, well, I don't know. You're a big man.
No, yeah, I know, but I was not. I was like, are any of my are all my ideas going to be bad? Like, are all like, is it just? And he is just so like, yeah, that's good. Like, like we're typing together, and he's like, and I made him laugh, and I'm like, oh my god, like I made Jay laugh, like it's so, because like again, like I would give like brothers to so many of my friends,
Right.
and they wouldn't read it,
Right, which is silliness.
and I was like, I'm writing with the guy that wrote this book, with his brother, about how to do it.
Right.
And I'm doing it with him now.
Yeah.
Like, this is some weird world,
Yeah, I guess weird world, but also like possible. It's a world that is possible.
Very much so.
So you get the film is out in the world. It's exciting. You guys go to South by Southwest.
We go to South by Southwest, and like this is the things like these are the moments that like I had a little bit of like I had a Will Smith Pursuit of Happiness moment at South by Southwest. It was like one of those days where like our premiere was at 10 a.m. Then we had to do like press and everything like right after that at like 12 to like 4. And I remember like walking back to my hotel by myself in South by after I was just in a movie that was on the big screen and like did all this press, and I was just like and I was just like crying. Like I was crying and clapping my hands like, oh my God, like not that I've made it, but like I'm present and I'm here for it. And like, my mom was there, and like to have her there, and my fiance was there, Jess, who, had just gotten in that night to make it, like everything fit like right in time. And I was so happy to have both of them there. And my sister and my, like one of my best friends, Stacy, from growing up, like she was there at the premiere. And like to have my mom there and like just to experience that she's finally seen her son up on the big screen after we see all these movies together.
Yeah.
That's the moments that like, that's why I was clapping.
Yeah. And that is totally reasonable. Yeah. That is totally reasonable. And that is beautiful. And I think that's like, that is the power of, that is the power of action. It is the power of belief. It is the power of pursuit. And it's like, that is incredible. That's why when I did the introduction for this, I wasn't fucking joking when I was like, you are an inspiration to me. And I love you.
Love you too, bud.
I know. It's like really good at the timing.
And I think I'm just crying because I don't like drills.
Yeah, I know. So they're so scary.
Yeah, they're so frightening. God.
Okay, I do want, like, we're so close to being done here. I want to make sure. Okay, we're doing good. I want to ask like one more thing, and then we're gonna get into a quick game, which is like, you have this pursuit of happiness moment. Like this is like you are in the pinnacle. You're overwhelmed with emotion. After South by, you guys get the audience award. Is that correct?
We won the audience award.
Right, which is incredible. That's so dope. Right? And then you guys are like the conversation at some point after that is with IFC about distribution and like the possibility of selling this film.
Well, we went into that and people were like, I mean, Jay was like, we're not going to sell this movie for profit. There's no way we're going to do that.
Right.
No one's going to buy a movie with no stars.
Right. He's like, wow, really building up my confidence.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, geez, this is awesome. And I was walking with Jay the Sunday after, because we premiered on Saturday, the Sunday after, he got a text. Our first offer was in within 24 hours from IFC.
Right.
That's who we ended up going with.
Yeah.
They were saying it was going to take weeks to sell this movie.
Course.
Like all that, like it was like not, like don't, it's just the market that we're in. This movie has been the opposite of what everyone has told us.
Right.
And that's been the most encouraging thing of like, and maybe it's just my dumb optimism. Yeah. But I'm like, oh, it's all going to work out. Like we're going to sell, and it's just been that for me. Like you know, they said 100 theaters, we got up to 500.
Right.
You know, we came
In
out
a theatrical release.
in a
Like, I
theatrical.
think, like, that's a huge thing to take note of. Like, it was like 100 would be an incredible win. You guys got 500 physical brick and mortar theaters that your movie is playing in. Like, that's hundreds of thousands of seats. Probably.
It was on my AMC stubs. You know, I could
Yes,
see, like,
I know,
went
us
to,
too.
Yeah,
It was
you know?
incredible, dude.
And I was like, this is crazy, you
Yeah.
know? And it was the coolest thing. Like, it was, again, like the opposite. Like, they're like, it's going to just go to streaming. It didn't.
Yeah.
You know, like, we got to, and we got to go, we got to have a premiere at Vidiot's, which was like super cool. Cause like
Yes.
my mom came out for that, and she was, the photographers were so funny with her. Like, they were like, come on, Chris, give us everything you got. And like, it was just her, and I have
Yeah.
a video of her just going like, you know, it's been like to have that with her, and to have my dad come to like to be at the Senator, which was like we had a premiere in Baltimore.
Right.
That we sold out 700 seats there.
Yeah.
And like, we got a standing ovation on the walk into the movie theater. I was like, you guys haven't seen the movie yet. Like, you have no idea what this is about, but you guys are already. And it was just such a special, magical day. And, you know, like, those are the moments of like, it's just been the most wild ride. And like, we got to go to festivals all around the world. And like,
Yeah, you went to Poland, right?
I went to Poland. I went to Munich. I went to Vevey, Switzerland.
Yeah.
I went to Carlo Viveri, which is right outside of Prague. And like, it's
Just a boy from Baltimore.
just
You're
a boy
in
from
Prague,
Baltimore.
dude.
That,
Like,
yeah, like that again. Like, you know, I went to Europe 5 times last year, and well, the best one was I got engaged there to the beautiful
yes.
Jess Cohen.
Yeah, congratulations.
That was once, and that was the only one we paid for. The other ones, I didn't pay for any of it.
Yeah.
Which is like crazy.
It is crazy.
Like, that is, yeah, a boy from Baltimore
Yeah.
with this little movie. Because again, what I always wanted was SNL and J. Like, I just, if I can do JFL and then I'll get SNL again. That's
Yeah.
all I want these next 5 years, getting sober, all this stuff. This movie has been a billion times better than any of that SNL bullshit.
Right. Of course.
Not to just completely
no.
put, but like,
No, but also I think the thing that is important, like the story to me, the synthesis of the story to take from the Michael Strassner journey is persistence and what you said earlier, which is like, don't take anything for granted and don't expect whatever the journey to be. Just be amenable to it. Like, you're just yes-anding your way through this. You're putting in the time and the energy. Like, you're busting ass.
Yeah.
And you're using the talent, and you're having the work ethic to be able to deliver on it. But like, you know, besides the manifestation sheet that you wrote in 2023, like, you don't ask the 18-year-old self, like, hey, Michael Strassner at 18, are you going to make a movie that takes you to Poland?
No.
You're going to be like, nah, bro. Like, you're just not. You're going to be like, I'm going to be doing something with a coat on SNL, and it's going to be, and people are going to love it, and it's going to be an homage to Chris Farley
and all
or
this
whatever.
shit. And it's like, and again, I think sometimes like what I really want, I don't end up getting, which is actually amazing for me.
Right. That is a lesson in and of itself too. There's like your perception of whatever it is that you want isn't necessarily the thing that you need.
No.
Okay.
And that has been through,
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was like, great, let's get after it. No, you have a final thought?
No, that's just been through recovery and through learning that. Like, I feel like I got the playbook to life now because of, you know, hearing that. That's all. It was like,
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. We just want to have like a little bit of energy as we leave out of the show today. It's a thing that we want to do. Okay, we have 2 filmmakers here, and I'll let you choose which one you want to do. But basically, this is a very common game. It's called Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Oh boy.
Yeah, exactly. Sabrina, our producer, and my wife says that we should say consensual lovemaking, marry and kill, which I agree with, but it's much easier to say the F word.
Sorry.
Okay, so we currently have
like
two film. Basically, the premise is that we're gonna just take some films from 2 filmmakers that you like, know, and admire.
Okay.
And then we're gonna have you do some decisions. So Sabrina wrote down John Waters as a possible filmmaker to do this fuck, marry, kill with, or Paul Thomas Anderson. Who would you rather do?
I think I'll do John Waters just to keep it in the Baltimore.
Okay,
spirit.
great. I love it. Okay, so basically, we've just written down the films that you actually brought up today. So we're gonna.
'Cause you're a magician.
Yes. Yep. Because we're gonna.
Because that was written before.
This was written. Yes, and revealed. Yep. We're gonna go to Vegas soon.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna go to Branson, Missouri soon. Actually. Okay. Cecil B. Demented.
Okay.
Serial Mom. Wow. Crybaby.
That are the three we said. That's pretty crazy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
We
yeah.
didn't mention Pecker.
Nope.
We didn't mention, yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to, I think I'm going to marry Crybaby because that was the first one I think
Yeah.
I saw.
Okay.
And, it was just that one was good. I'm going to consensually fuck.
Love making. Conceptually fuck. Yeah.
Serial mom.
Okay, great.
And I'm gonna
You
kill
kill
Cecil.
Cecil. Yeah.
Cecil be demented.
Yeah.
Just because I think I saw it later in life, and it didn't have that. It was hard to pick that one.
Yeah.
But yeah. Because serial mom, like, you don't want to marry her.
Yeah.
You don't, because you could really.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
Also, big shout out to Matthew Lillard
Matthew Lillard, yeah.
in Serial Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites. I was also going to tell you Wes Craven, but that would have
Wes
been
Craven.
that would have been
goodness.
a hard. Like, if you would have given me Scream, Scream 2, Scream 3, I don't think I could do it.
Really?
No.
You couldn't choose any of the three of the Screams?
I couldn't kill any of
The
them.
original is incredible, dude.
Yeah.
The first Scream is
It's next.
undeniable.
Well, yeah, that's one that I would marry, but then I wouldn't be
who are
able
you
to.
killing? Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Okay, we're doing a lightning round. Lightning round. Fuck, marry, kill. Paul Thomas Anderson. Punch Drunk Love. Boogie Nights. Magnolia.
Man, okay, I'm going to marry Boogie Nights.
Okay.
Because they get around in that.
Yeah,
one.
they do. It's a good movie.
And then I think I'm gonna. Oh my God.
Yep. Boogie Nights, Magnolia, Punch Drunk Love.
I'm going to fuck Punch Drunk Love just because that Philip Seymour Hoffman. Philip Seymour Hoffman is one of my favorite, and he's in all three.
Yeah,
but
he is in all three.
Yeah, but I'm gonna kill, which I hate, Magnolia.
Yeah,
because I like Magnolia is incredible.
It's an amazing film.
But Punch Drunk Love, I get it.
It's beautiful.
It's Adam Sandler being incredible.
He's amazing in that movie.
I know.
That is such a tough one. Thanks to producer Sabrina for giving me like an incredibly difficult one. My gosh. Okay, guys, that brings us to our end. Thank you so much for sticking around. Michael, thank you for joining us. I'm so incredibly grateful to have you here and for you sharing your story. This has been Film Shit. Not only is the umbrella of the subject that we talk about, I also want it to feel like a call to action. So if you want to sit in the seat where Michael is someday and I have the opportunity to talk to you, make sure that you go and you film shit. Okay, thank you so much. I've been Nate Caywood. We'll speak soon. Cheers.